What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Wes Reacts. We're back with another video for y'all today, man. We got solving stupid debates. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe to your boy. Hey, we're about to see what kind of debates he's talking about. Probably, if I had to guess, like, water is wet. I remember that being a big debate on the internet. Yes, water's wet. Yeah, without further ado, let's think of some more.
Doing the internet, it's argue.
Let's see.
And I personally think a lot of these debates can be looked at objectively. Now, some questions are obviously deeper than others.
Other niggas had your bitch outside.
It wasn't my bitch.
Then shut the f up in 2024.
But as you read the title,
Shout
these are
out
ones
Joe.
that I consider stupid.
Where's the parachute? I thought you said parachutes.
And ones that can be answered pretty easily. But when I look
Okay.
at some of the most popular arguments, I realize that we really just be fighting about anything.
Yeah.
Water. Is it wet? Is water wet has to be a choice.
Alright,
What do you
let's
mean
get into
is
it.
water wet? And for the people that are still confused on my stance, yes, it is. I don't know
Yes,
about you, but this looks pretty
I
wet to
agree.
me. Yes, the implication
Yes, water's wet. I don't care what anyone says. Water cannot be dry. I'm just being honest.
of something being wet is a solid interacting with the liquid and making it wet. But deep it though, even though water is a liquid, water
What's
is covered in
another one?
water, right? When was the last time you had one water molecule? If you're gonna sit here and tell me water's dry though, you are a complete jester. Anywho, next question. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, if you're not a complete lunatic, everything in
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Okay. No. The reason I say is because I think of a sandwich that has two pieces of bread. Like, yeah, I don't think it's a sandwich at all, bro. I don't think that's a hard answer.
your mind is telling you a hot dog is not in fact a sandwich. But it's the same
Yeah,
sort
no.
of thing as the is water wet argument. You know, like the definition and the outline of what a sandwich is would technically make a hot dog a sandwich. That would be if a meat rocket was not its own category of food. Do not put meat missiles in the same conversation as sandwiches. Just look at the way you eat a sandwich versus how you
Hey,
eat
shout
a meat
out
rocket.
Adlizzy.
These are two very different experiences. And also a sub technically has that same sus shape to it. And most people
Bro, I love me a
consider that
Subway sandwich, though.
In
Come
my
on now.
personal opinion, subs are way more sandwich-like than a glizzy, and Franks also only have one bun. It's not even close to being a sandwich if it only has one bun. I'd say that's closer to a pizza than a hot dog is to being a sandwich. But
I
I was
agree.
already pissed off reading some people's backwards logic for why a hot dog is the same as a sandwich. But then this nigga has to say it's a taco.
Look, some people
taco?
need to be gone, bro. You know what I'm talking about? In order for shit to get better. He one of them.
And for our next
Yeah.
debate, this is a pretty recent one that went really viral. And that's 100 men versus one gorilla. And from my observations, this one is like a 70-30 split, with 70% of people believing that
I really do think if you get 100 athletic men, I'm talking prime men that can think and make out a plan for the gorilla, I think we could take them. But if it's just average Joes, I think the gorilla wins, just being honest.
the gorilla would win and the other 30 believing the men would win. But personally, I think if you had like 60 people all dedicated to f***ing up this gorilla, I don't think it stands
Yeah,
even a chance.
I agree.
One gorilla versus 100 people. Bro, 100 people is just overwhelming numbers. You got 2 people grabbing each arm, you got 2 people grabbing each leg, someone kicking straight meat. Like, tell me I'm not onto something. Okay, I was in fact not onto something. The original plan was just to glaze 100 humans and talk about how we would just overwhelm the gorilla, but I took it to myself to ask ChatGPT for help. And in order to get a representation on how difficult it
What
would
is
be to
that
fight
picture?
the gorilla, I asked what animals is weak to humans as humans are to gorillas. And since a gorilla is roughly 4 to 9 times stronger than a human, ChatGPT came up with a common marmoset. Now, what the fuck is a marmoset, you ask? I was
I don't know.
picturing something maybe the size of a small dog.
What the dog doing?
Why is it the size of a human hand? I am easily
Hey,
clearing
yo.
through 500 of these. But then again, I'm also more intelligent than a gorilla, so I'll
That's
at
the
least have
thing.
some strategy. So who knows, bro? Until I see 100 men fight a gorilla, I'ma just have to leave this one open. But for our next debate, I'm not gonna give it any build up. It's this fucking dress. And if you see black
Bro,
and blue, you're lying.
that-
But the dress is
what?
in fact black or blue. You know,
It's black and blue. Anybody that used to see white or what was it, white and gold, they were tripping.
Just because one thing is one way doesn't mean the same thing can't be another way.
What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Yeah,
Because,
facts.
yeah, the debate has been closed for a minute now. The person that took the original photo took another one and said it was black and blue. And it was, in fact, the lighting of the dress that affected how it looked. And I'm not even trying to be different, all right? But I'd honestly say the dress is gold and blue. And I knew I wasn't tripping,
No,
all
it's
right?
not,
Color Select
bro.
says that's the colors that are projecting into my eyes. So, yeah, the real dress is black and blue, but this ass photo is gold and blue. And another debate that is cereal soup. And before you even say anything,
What?
yes, I know the argument, solid food inside liquid, served in a bowl. Technically, that is soup behavior. But we just all know cereal is not soup.
Yeah, no.
If
I
somebody
don't
hands
believe
me
that.
cereal and calls it soup, I don't trust the hands that prepared that food. Okay, on to our next debate. How many holes does this shirt have? First of all,
Dude.
what kind of fucking shirt is this? This is some shit niggas would wear if it was Rick
Bro,
Owens.
is
But I'm
nigga-
not gonna lie, this one's
is
more like a
people
riddle. There's
really
a lot of
saying this is a hole, this 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 a hole. Y'all are freaking bugging. I know what y'all mean. Like one, so technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are saying this has 6 holes. Ain't no way.
people forget to include the hole in the neckline and the sleeves and underneath, you know. Most people would say it has 2 holes, but it actually has 8. So this wasn't really a debate until people started arguing on whether a hole is just one hole, if it has an entry and an exit. But for the answer to this question, I'll simply have to say that holes don't actually exist. They're nothing but a concept, alright? Because think about it for a second.
Okay, brother.
A hole is literally just the absence of something. It's not a thing you can hold, it's not a thing you can grab. It's just where something used to be, but isn't anymore. Which means, technically speaking, a hole is just nothing.
Nothing?
But now my brain's
Shout out
overheating, so instead
Allie.
let's just move on to a debate that's somehow even more pointless, but also way bigger.
Massive, dude.
This is probably one of the biggest debates of all time, and it's gender wars. Who is
What?
better, woman or man?
Are we talking physically
And it
or
all seems to be
mentally?
the same thing, alright? Women saying all men are like
Emotionally?
this, men saying all women are like this. And at the root of it, it's just clearly a human problem. But apparently that's not a good enough answer, and no one will stop until there's a clear winner. So who is objectively better? In order to decide this, I've decided to borrow this power comparison system from this One Piece edit. Now it was used to compare
Okay.
Roger and Shanks. We're gonna use it to compare man and woman. Before y'all complain, this is a very scientific system. 9 and 10
Okay.
doctors approved. And now we have round 1, strength. Now the men are gonna take this first round. The
Facts.
heaviest weight ever lifted by a man being 510 kgs, and the heaviest weight lifted by a woman coming at close at 325 kgs, which is still
Dang.
insane, by the way. If somebody told me to pick up 325
moving that thing.
kgs, my spine would just Gwen Stacy. But sorry, ladies, the men are gonna take this one. And for round 2, we have speed. Okay, let me just stop. Because at the
Man.
end of the day, fighting about gender is so pointless. Because what is the desired outcome here? The complete annihilation of the opposite gender? Because last time I checked, the human race requires both sides of the argument to even continue existing. And what I find so stupid is these giant overgeneralized statements that would imply an entire gender is just the scum of the earth. Like saying kill all men.
What did I do?
That would imply there's never been a good man that's ever lived ever. Just the addition of the word some does so much. But people don't do it because it doesn't rage bait hard enough. And rage baiting is a reason that 90% of people do gender wars,
Facts.
even if they realize it or not.
Call me delusional, but I think 100 girls can easily beat that gorilla.
And I've heard arguments
Shut
like it's not all
your-
men, but it's
Let me
enough.
stop.
Which, what is the implications there? You saying I'm one of the good ones?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
But look, even if 100 men or women did you the worst 100 times in a row, they still another 4 billion men or women. And now those 100 grimy niggas now represent the other 4 billion. And the end result of this is just 2 groups of extremely online people convincing each other that the opposite gender is a different species.
The older I get, the more I realize that women are humans.
But finally, for our last debate, this one might
Okay.
actually be the stupidest one yet. But the question
hear
is, if you punch yourself and it hurts, are you weak or strong?
My grandmother had weed.
I just think that's nerves going in through your face. You know, you're not supposed to self-harm yourself. That's your body. Your body's reaction to self-harm is like way more crazy. Way more crazy. I don't think you're stronger if you hit yourself or nothing. Like, bro, come on now.
She would have been a bike. You know what? You know.
This debate is so dumb. If you
Yeah.
punch yourself and it doesn't hurt, that doesn't prove you're strong or weak. And neither does
Yep.
punching yourself and being in pain. The only thing you're proving is that you're not incredibly weak. But listen, right? If a kid around the ages 10 to 13 haymaking my unsuspecting chin at full force, right? It's most likely going to hurt. That doesn't mean the kid is stronger than me. It just means I
Facts.
got punched in the face. Unless it's one of those
Facts.
kids like in East Bay at 12 years old. Hey, maybe he was stronger than me.
How old are you, man?
But also, if I was to swing full
10.
force at Eddie Hall, former strongest man in the world, Big Brother guy. Now this is gonna go one of two ways. If my theory's correct, I knock this guy clean out. If not, my hand is goners. But I've been told I end my videos too suddenly. So,
Deuces, my boy. Hey, shout out. Great video chat. Great video chat. Hey, man, it's been your boy, Wes Reacts. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. I think I said that earlier, but it's been a good video. I'm out, man. Peace. Deuces. Hey, y'all stay out of trouble, by the way. Stay out of trouble.